Yo, 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 welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Today we have just one game on the board for the W. So we'll get to that game and do a quick recap, get through a couple of the comments. Should be a quick show today. I did make a play in this game, which something I haven't done early morning in quite some time, but something that I absolutely love in this game. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'm gonna come back. I don't have a lot of time this morning, so I'm gonna come back and do a full NFL show, kind of going through all the games tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that one if you guys are interested in NFL bets as well. I didn't place any bets last night. Fell asleep on the Friday night game in Brazil, but did see that my favorite bet was Saquon Barkley up and over his I think it was 61 and a half rushing yards, and I didn't play it, but he did cash. Also his anytime touchdown cash. So those were my favorite two bets. Crazy game in Brazil yesterday. But yeah, let's jump into it for today, man. Quick recap of yesterday. The short list went crazy. It was Aces money line. It was Minnesota money line. Thought the Fever would cool off. They did. It was Cardosa over her points, and it was Atlanta team total over. And they almost scored 100 yesterday for the first time. So yeah, short list went crazy. Sweep last night. But the plays I ended up making, I sent out two to the members yesterday, and I really fell in love with this when I was looking a little bit more into it after the show. It was the Aces in Connecticut game, Aces and Sun game to go under the total, and it was an absolute rock fight of a game. Outside of Kelsey Plum carrying the Aces offense early, it was, terrible. We know Connecticut really struggles to score, so the first half under, I played, in the full game under, I also played. So we pick up almost a unit and a half yesterday. And definitely looking to kind of keep moving in that direction here today. A lot of sports to bet right now. This is why I tell you guys to, make sure you have Moneyball and make sure you have Odds Jam, because it's so helpful for time purposes. But yeah, let's go through a couple of the comments real quick before we jump into the game on the board for today. Big Zan says, shout out to the Dream. They almost got put on the ban list last night, but they pulled through for the boy. Yeah, I was watching the game. Sucks because they had all the games starting at 7:30 the same time, but yeah, they got the job done. The Wings just started turning the ball over. Enrique was looking really good early, and Tierra McCowan, Natasha Howard, they all had good games, but yeah, Dream got the job done. They needed that win. They needed that win in the worst way, especially with the Sky also winning last night. So yeah, big game for the Dream. What up, Dropping Dimes? Dirty Rig says, who told Angel Reese to run from the rebounds last night, and she still finished with 12 of them and had 24 points? Yeah, she played big last night, man. I also wanted to I told you guys I wasn't looking towards the Sparks. We got that season win total under that's looking really good right now, especially with their upcoming games to finish out. I think they got 6 games left, so as long as they don't win 2 of them, all 6 teams that they play moving forward are in the playoff race, and we'll be playing for either seeding or to stay in. So I love that. I don't think the Sparks have won a game since then, outside of the one against the Liberty that they shouldn't have won either. But yeah. Now says, you stay falling asleep. I got, bruh. I wake up in the morning at 5:15 most mornings, Eastern Standard Time. So staying up until 12, 1 o'clock, like I'm not a party guy. I'm trying to cash tickets, and I got a family, So yeah, I'm on the move, man. I'm on the move a lot. Brother be tired, man. I got a 6-year-old. I'm very involved with my son. So yeah, I just do these shows when I can to try to help you guys out. Helping Hand says, just stopping by that you got the notification Christmas Live. Good morning and stay safe, my brother. Appreciate that. What up, Mark? Justin in here as well, says top of the morning. 9K says Sky better give Kennedy however much they can this all season. Yeah, Kennedy Carter looked good last night. Granted, it was against the Sparks defense that's terrible, but she did look good last night. And Glow says, put one WNBA game on my parlay and it messed up the whole thing. Damn, that's tough. That is tough. All right, let's move on over to the game, man. We got Mercury and the Storm. Lines, I think 6.5 is consensus. 6 was consensus. In total, come down. It's now down to 163. I think when I looked yesterday, because I looked at this game yesterday, but not completely. And this total was at like 164.5. So I want to say some money's come in on the under, which makes a lot of sense, especially when you look at how Phoenix has been playing offensively. I just want to double check it really quickly. Yeah, I think there's open 164.5. 163, 163 and a half consensus, whatever it is, between those two numbers. So injury report, Rebecca Allen, I think she is already ruled out. She hasn't played a game for the Mercury in quite a while. I don't think she's played since maybe one game. I don't think she played after the Olympic break. So it's been about 8-9 games for that she has been out. And on the Storm side, I think they got a clean injury report. I don't think anybody's on the injury report for them. So you look at this Mercury team coming off 1 day's rest, first road game for them since August the 23rd. They had like a 4 or 5 game homestand, and they've been terrible recently. 1-4 straight up, and against the spread in their last 5 games. You can see that they are 17-18 on the full season, 18-16-1 against the spread. And look at that road record, 7-10 straight up. They are 8-8-1 overall, but we'll dive a little bit deeper into that in a second. Offensively, they've fallen off a cliff. The 3-point shots aren't falling. You can see that they're the worst offensive rated team, worst net rated team, which is crazy because they play in a league with the Sparks, but they're the worst net rated team, and 8th defensively as well. You look at the Storm, not the greatest spot for the Storm. 1 day's rest, first game back on the West Coast after a 3-game road trip where they played the Connecticut Sun twice, and then they also went to New York and lost to the Liberty by 7 points on Thursday evening. Offensively, defensively, and net rating all 9th over the last 5 games. So I saw this line actually open at 3.5 yesterday on Fanatic Sportsbook, I think it was, but I wanted to get the injury report, and they dropped it before the injury report even came out. The line's up to 6 now. There is a 5.5 that's floating around out there, and that's what I like here. I think it's a turn-up spot for the Storm back at the crib. Like I said, you look at the Mercury, you can see it in the orange in the middle. They are 7-10 straight up on the road, losing by an average of 5 points per game throughout the full season. But if you add that they're a road dog, they're 1-9 straight up and 3-7 against the number, only covering 30% of those games, losing by an average of 12 points. Add to the fact that they failed to cover 6 straight games, and they've lost their last 6 games as a dog by 9 points or more. And I think this sets up for a really nice spot for Seattle here. Seattle returning home off the 3-game road trip. Not the greatest spot, but if you like what you've seen from the Storm, which I do recently, I think that it probably all puts itself together here. Back-to-back games versus Connecticut, and New York, and they hung in the last 2. They did lose that first one, but I think Gabby Williams kind of starting to hit her stride, being back with the team, scoring double digits in both games. She had a really good game against the Liberty in that last game, and she played the really good in the Connecticut game, the second Connecticut game as well. You look at the Storm; they have failed to cover their last 3 straight games at the crib, which is where they typically play better. But overall, they're still 9-6 against the number. I think they're a much better home team. I also like that they lost the last game to the Libs, because I think that's going to make them a little bit more focused and locked in here. It'll probably mean a little bit extra motivation because they're going to want to get off the losing snide. I watched the post-game interview, and Skylar Diggins-Smith is such a vet, man. She is such a pro's pro. She was just talking about how frustrated, they were, even though Liberty are the best team in the WNBA. They thought that they should have won that game. They were trying to get their revenge. And then defensively, they just looked really, really good as well, holding Connecticut down in the game before. And they held the Liberty to 77 points in that last game. And the Mercury offense, 12th rated last 5 games. When I look a little bit deeper and I think about the type of team that Seattle's has struggled with recently, it's been teams that are great at rebounding the basketball. Phoenix is the second worst offensive rebounding team, and the worst rebounding team on the full season. So I don't think the Storm will struggle in this spot here. The Mercury play, we talk about this all the time. The Mercury play with BG in, who's a big, but then they play 4 guards, right? It's typically, someone like Sophie Cunningham playing the 4. She's a guard in my opinion. Also, Seattle, they have really struggled to score in the paint, right? A big weakness for Seattle's defense is they give it up in the paint. However, you look at the scoring last 5, scoring the Phoenix Mercury scoring the 9th fewest, and last 5 they're actually scoring they're 10th in scoring in the paint. So this isn't a Mercury team that even looks to get a lot of buckets in the paint outside of going down to BG. Also, they don't get a lot of easy basket. They rank in the bottom half in the league in second chance points, are the Phoenix Mercury, because they are not a good rebounding team. Eighth in fast break points. Storm actually give up the fourth fewest, and the Mercury are 11th in points off turnovers. They don't force a lot of turnovers, and the Storm they give up the fewest as well. So I like the spot for the Storm. I think all of that equates to the Storm winning this game by double digits tonight, get off the snide, and I think there's a reason why this line is moving the way that it's moving. So I like the Storm a lot in this spot. I actually played. I sent out to the members. I think I sent out 5 last night because I figured this line was gonna move, and then when I woke up and I looked at the line this morning, I saw that number was gone. So yeah, I sent out the 5 last night. It's a 5.5 on draft on BetMGM right now. That is still available. This is 6.5 on other books. That's what I absolutely love in this spot. Player props. And I did play the 5.5 again because once I found the big trend with them not covering the road game, in a while. I just don't think that offensively they're gonna be able to put it together against the Storm defense. Not with the guard, not with the players that they have. I think the Storm defense gonna turn up in this spot. So I end up adding the 5.5 as well this morning, just because it was still available. As far as player props in this game, I think it kind of correlates. Player props been cashing too, the ones that I've been putting on the list. Nneka, I think, has a big game here. Her double is like plus 145, but I looked at her points and I think it's 16.5. I think it's 16.5. Nneka should eat in this game, right? When you think about just defensively, how the Mercury play, just the size that they have. They don't have a matchup for Nneka Ogwumike. Nneka is, and we've seen bigs like stretch fours really kill the Mercury this season. I think back to Stewie. I think she just had a close to a 30-point game against the Mercury. I think back to Nafisha Collier. I know she had a 25-point game against the Mercury. And just that size and length, right? Like Nneka should absolutely go crazy in this game because they don't have anyone that they're going to be able to throw on her. She's coming off, I think, 2 games where she went under on her points prop. So I like Nneka in this spot, probably a little bit more than anybody else. It feels like, Storm role players will play a little bit better. You got Jordan Horston. You got Sammy Whitcomb off that bench. And I think getting Gabby back is going to be huge for this team as well. So turn up spot for the Storm here. And I think Nneka is the best player prop, in my opinion, on the board. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Taylor Made says Cardoso over points has been money. Yeah, she didn't even get but 8 shots last night. She shot 5 for 8 with Kennedy Carter coming back, and she still ended up going over that 10.5. And it was plus money when I gave it out yesterday morning. Drop it down likes the first half under. I think Mercury team total first half under would probably be a really good look. It's probably something like 39.5. I think that they struggle, and they've been playing so slow too. Glow says only low value people wake up late and go to bed late, wasting their life. I ain't here to debate it. Glow, but Clipper says Diana Taurasi over 3.5 assists. Not anything that I'm interested in. I think the first half could be a really good look, dropping down. I really, really do. I just played the full game because I don't think Seattle is going to let up. But yeah, first half makes a lot of sense in this game. DJ Props is taking the under 163. Good defensive team versus slow-paced offense, right? Absolutely. And this is a fact, Mark. Seattle owes us. I know I've lost like 2 bets on Seattle during their current, probably like a 2-10 ATS streak over their last 10 games. What up, Bissy? Appreciate you for tapping in. And that's Betts. What's going on, my brother? Hope all is well. He says, "What's up, my brother? Been a while since I was up this time for a live show. Much needed sweep last night. Let's keep it rolling." Yeah, you got there with the sparks last night. I couldn't quite get there with the sparks, but not the sparks, the sky. But I'm glad you cashed it, Ness. Glad you cashed it, bro. Love to hear that you coming off a sweep. Stay hot, my brother. Stay hot. What up, Peasy? Bissy says, I haven't looked at the slate today, but give me South Africa in rugby against New Zealand. Hammer spot. Okay. Know nothing about rugby. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Know nothing about rugby. Net says, yeah, I missed the 5.5 last night, but I'm all over the 6.5. It ain't gonna matter. Mercury are sorry as hell. Sky last night was my favorite spot all week, but like this almost as much. Okay, now I like it as well. Mercury are old and slow. Felt high on them early in the season, but God, they have been bad. Good get right spot for the Storm. Yeah, I agree with that. Bitch reminding people to hit the like button. Helms like the under 162 here. Justin says, play the Storm when you sent it to VIP. And what up, Kilo? Appreciate you as well. He says, morning, bro. Appreciate the content as always. And I appreciate you for tapping in. Everybody to hit the like button, share the show. All that stuff is helpful, man. I just like coming on here, breaking the games down, letting you guys know what I'm thinking and what I'm betting. To this point right here from Nesbet, just last thing I'm going to mention before I get into a quick recap. He says, Mercury are old or sorry as hell. And I thought I read slow in here somewhere. Here we go. Old and slow, right? So to this point, I went back last night. I'm trying to get ahead on the Aces. The Aces played at Liberty tomorrow, and it's a 3 that's out there right now in favor of the Libs tomorrow on DraftKings. Everybody else got 3.5, 4. I think maybe even a 4.5 then popped up. And before I went too heavy on the Liberty tomorrow, because I do think Asia, if anybody watched the game, Asia did kind of like roll. I don't even know if it was her ankle or her knee, but she got kind of rolled up on last night late in the game. And so I'm listening to the post-game interview last night. I'm trying to figure out, if Becky Hammond, who already was thinking about giving Asia a rest day, if she was going to, give Asia a rest day, because if they give Asia a rest day, they're absolutely getting smoked by the Liberty tomorrow. In my opinion, I just think the Liberty got it out for the Aces every single time that they play them based on how they lost the game last season. But to this point right here from Nesbet, Kelsey Plum said something that was super interesting last night. And we knew it already, but she just said, like, playing in the Olympics was so taxing. Like, not even just from like a physical standpoint, like just physical fatigue, but mentally. She said every single minute that you play, every single like practice rep was like 110% harder. And she said Cheryl Reeves was like really, really tough on her, even tougher than Becky Hammond has been. So she said, like, getting that rest day, because remember, she took one of those days off. They gave Jackie Young a day off. So I'm thinking Asia gonna get one eventually, especially like with a good win against Connecticut. I don't know if people looked at the Aces schedule. It's difficult to finish the season. The Aces got the Liberty coming up. Then they go to the Fever. They play the Fever twice. They got the Storm coming up. Like, they don't got a cupcake schedule. I think they do end with like with the Wings, I think, or the Sparks or something. Like, but they got a really difficult like six games or so before that last game. And it made me think, like, this Mercury team also sent some players to the Olympics as well. And that feels like it's kind of catching up with the Mercury, because they haven't had all those rest days, right? BG was on that team. Diana Taurasi was on that team. And Diana Taurasi's like I love Diana Taurasi. I think she's one of the greatest WNBA players, if not the greatest WNBA player of all time. But Diana Taurasi's like fossil age now. She's like dinosaur age. She's 120 in basketball years, right? So, I think it's kind of catching up with her. I really want to fade her. I always talk about wanting to fade her. I think her points prop like 13.5, and I would be looking towards the under. But that's all I wanted to say. I do think that I said all that to say, shout out to Nesbet for mentioning this comment. I think that they are getting old for sure. I think they are getting old, and it's starting to show because they haven't had a break. Helm says he likes as he rebounds today. Cuppa Joe says, I think Storm team total is in play. Don't trust the defense of the Mercury, and the Storm loves home cooking, but I don't trust them. Yeah, I was thinking that as well. I just kind of stayed off of that. When the Mercury don't cover, it's typically because of their defense, though. I get upset all the time, Pablo. I just don't show it on the stream, man. My mental health is always in check. I keep my mental health in check, man. I run, I lift, I eat a healthy diet. Like, I stretch. I do all the prerequisites before I sports bet. That's real. Dropping down says Fever Dream over 168 tomorrow is what he likes. Nets is glad we're on the same side. Enjoy your set. Right back at you, Nesbet. No college football for me today, Glow. I don't do football at all. But like I said, I will be back to probably later this evening to do an NFL show if people are interested. Just not sure exactly when I'm going to be able to squeeze it into my day. My son got soccer coming up on Saturday. It's just like, it's hectic, bro. It's hectic, man. Sophie is 28. How is that old? Not her, but everybody else on the team is pretty old. Oh, you're talking about Glow. Okay. Yeah, Mark, Libs are the best team by far. Lynx are the best team, Helm says. I think the Libs are the best team, but we'll see. We shall see. We're getting really close to it. What up, AOD? Appreciate you for tapping in, my brother. I think Gabby is definitely gonna keep it going, starting to gel. Appreciate you, Helms. Appreciate you, bro. I always appreciate you coming in the chat for sure. And Mitchell says he's looking at the Liberty side for the game tomorrow over the Aces. Yeah, like I said, it's a 3 on DraftKings right now. I'm just waiting for Becky to say she not playing Asia. Like I say, I think they win the game by 3 regardless. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. All right, went over a little bit longer than I thought, man. But like I said, this is what I like the Seattle. I gave it out at 5 last night. I love the 5.5 as well. I think it's a double-digit win for Seattle today. So I'll be laying, and I played that, the 5.5 and the 5. So that is in green. NECA, like I said, I think it's a big NECA game today. Matchup wise, I think she has a great matchup against a team that doesn't really have a 4. So Ezzy probably be out there guarded by, BG. And who's guarding NECA? I'm not sure who's guarding NECA. Like, who's strong enough, physical enough to guard NECA, tall enough to guard NECA? I'm not sure. So I'll do like NECA over her points, but I like Seattle, and I went a little heavy on Seattle today. So we'll see how it goes, man. Resources, as always, are here. Check out OddsJam. Check out Moneyballer if you guys have not. There are referral codes, as you guys can see here, for both. CBC will get you 20% off the first month. For OddsJam, I use the best screen. Sportsbook screen is the best in the planet. So that's what I use it for. Find all the best lines without laying the big. And then Moneyballer, all my trends, especially team totals, all of those things, 50% off using code ChrisBeCappinn. So yeah, let's get to it. Helm says he likes Eastern Carolina money line at plus 100 today. Favors college football bet. We shall see how it goes. Best of luck, Helms. Appreciate you for tapping in as always. Appreciate all you guys for tapping in as always, man. If you enjoyed the show, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, link for all my official plays in the description. Hopefully we can stay hot. WNBA has been good to me recently. We're coming down the stretch. I think it's a little over 2 weeks left. So hopefully we can keep it going today, man. Best of luck, bet responsibly, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Enjoy your Saturday.